But of course, this abuse of children takes many forms in many different countries. And a few days ago, I was able to have a remarkable interview with a mother whose story truly incredible. We will have the video for that available shortly. But just to pop this on screen, essentially, Devon and Cornwall Police in large numbers, tooled up, helmets, riot gear, to take away a 16-year-old boy against his wishes and the protests of the family. The mother, who happens to be qualified as a lawyer, Hannah, ultimately watched her son bundled into a vehicle to be taken to an unknown location. And if people want to know what the crime of the youngster was, it's simply being Hannah's son, because the boy had done nothing wrong. The police, social services and the local authority in the southwest were much more interested in why the mother was protesting and causing them problems in the courts. So if anybody thinks that UK is squeaky clean in how it handles children and young people, I would suggest otherwise. But I was particularly interested, having done the interview with the mother, that we should then come up to this headline, which is that the Chief Constable of Devon and Cornwall Police has been suspended, facing serious sexual assault allegations. And this has been launched by the police ombudsman from Northern Ireland. He was previously in Northern Ireland and worked there, I think, for some 27 years before coming down to Devon and Cornwall. Now, we should point out straight away that the Chief Constable is denying any criminality. This is reported in a number of places, including the Police Oracle. So we want to make that statement very clear to the audience. But let's also remember that we only have to go back to 2022 to see that Devon and Cornwall Police were joining 6 other police forces being put into special measures, constabulary, to face extra scrutiny over failures to answer emergency calls and adequately deal with sexual offenders. So absolutely fascinating, Mike, that we've got a defective Devon and Cornwall police force as a baseline, possible big problems with the Chief Constable, but that force goes off as a group of heavies to take a 16-year-old boy away from his mother and take that child to an unknown location. It is known where the boy is at the moment, and effectively, according to his mother, he's being held a prisoner. But that's the state of it and the action by Devon and Cornwall Police. If we go looking for answers as to what the state of the Devon and Cornwall Constabulary is, no better place to go than their Twitter page. I'm not sure how we describe X, Mike, but I looked at X, and here was the notice of the fact that he'd been suspended, the Chief of Police, Will Kerr, OBE, KPM, following allegations of misconduct. But what else did we see on the, I'm going to stick with Twitter to keep it easy. Well, we saw some of the priorities of Devon and Cornwall Police. And here we've got taking positive action. Now, this is all about positive discrimination, effectively. But the police, so tied up in this, a major event with Eventbrite. Are you from an Eastern European, Black, Asian or other diverse background? Are you female? Do you have a disability? Are you under 25? If you are, or if, excuse me, if you're also a member of the LGBTQ plus part of the community, the police are interested in you. So a lot of woke focus, even though the police can't do the basic job of policing and stopping crime. But it goes on, because I found this, the Clewer initiative, and apparently you've got to download the Safe Car Wash app to help the fight against modern slavery. Let's have a look at this video clip to see what this is all about.
I think it's that ease of reporting things is hugely important. You know, in a busy world where everybody's there, everybody sees things, I must do something about that. And then by the time they get to do it, things have happened, life has moved on, and you start to then doubt yourself, well, maybe I was wrong, maybe I won't say anything. And then you're back in your everyday life, busy life. So actually that ease of reporting is really important, you know, that if it's not easy to report, people just won't do it. So really, we're, with the police, working with other organisations like yourself, like the Clewer initiative, around apps like that, just to make it really easy to put that information in and to get that intelligence through to the right organisations.
So there we are. This is about intelligence gathering. Mike, don't misunderstand what it's about. It's intelligence gathering. And if I pop this one on screen, this is a bit more about the Clewer initiative itself. 2022 in the UK, there were over 100,000 men, women and children trapped in modern slavery. Of course, part of that is immigration with no controls or checks and balances. But then we discover that the We See You, the Clewer initiative, is part of the national work of the Church of England. So we've got the Church of England in bed with the police, and what is the aim? To collect data. And if we have a look at this second video clip, we've got a bit more comment from another police force on the Clewer initiative itself. Watch out for the subliminal.
In terms of simple things you can do is visit the Clewer initiative website where you can download their Safer Car Wash app. I would urge you to do that so that you can get involved in helping us identify offences and people that are vulnerable. Some of the things that might concern you and things to look out for at a car wash where people are being exploited is people not wearing the right equipment. So do you have people outside in inclement weather, they haven't got the right coats on, bearing in mind they're washing cars all day, they're not wearing wellies. Do they look a bit down in the dumps? Do they look well kept, or do they look like they might be slightly neglected? Do they talk to you when they clean your car? Is it them that takes the money, or do they look to somebody else to speak for them? Some of those are just indicators that something might be wrong. And if something looks like it's too cheap, there's usually a reason for that. So please download the app and get involved today.
Well, there we are. And of course, she was stood in a church. A police officer stood in a church talking about this collection of data. This is the public spying on the public. But did you get the subliminal? I hope you did, because in the background for quite a long period was the message, let others decide. Report and let others decide. We'll end with this particular slide. We've got the actual community of St. John the Baptist. This is where the foundation originally came from. A group of nuns. Now, several of them have died. There are some still alive, but I believe they're in a care home. My question is that if we look into this, is this really to do now with looking after people and good works through the church, or is this really charitable work that's been subverted for a political, and I'm going to call it a Stasi agenda, which is to get the population spying on each other? I'll leave it to the audience to think about.